Okay, well, good morning guys, time for another update. So I've been working on the body and chipping away at it very slowly, but the back is all now bonded on. You can see how well it all sits in. That's probably better. The tailpipes aren't on, but this gives you an idea how it fits. I did the rear cut before I put the body on because I didn't want to scratch any of the paintwork. I've just got to do the top cut when I'm ready to do that. The roof is now just sitting in its position out of the way. That is, once I've got the body on, that will be my next step. But the front clip's not in, but it does actually just sit down and just rest, so you can see it fits. The doors are in position. This was so I could get the rear clip all done. I had a little bit of trouble on the passenger side. Just let me. There we go. Excuse me. See the little scrape marks? That was caused by that there. So I had to do a bit of cutting with the bodywork on the car and also a little bit of cutting back on the fiberglass, just get it fit, but it's fine now. The front clip is bolted in place, or I should say screwed in place, with Tech screws. There's a little bit of work needed to be done here and also there, because that's not dead straight there, and as you can see, for some reason the door actually just doesn't come out far enough. It does actually, for some reason, bow in a bit. I don't know why that is. I'll just do a little bit of prep work on that, pack it out. So the next thing, which is obviously always a bit of a delicate subject, is the door gap on the front. Now, when it comes to the door gaps, I've followed the spec as per DNA, but I'm sorry, it's just too close for my liking. Now I've had to do a little bit of work. Remember, this kit is about 7 years old and it's been hanging around for this amount of time, so it could have moved a little bit. What I've got an alley bar on the back side of that, just to make sure I've got the correct contour, because it was a bit too straight, so I've had to do that. All the areas which have got little marks on it are the areas where I've got a bit of a problem with it cutting in. I can take the fiberglass down a little bit more, but to be honest, I think I'm really on the limit now. When I open the door, it's just too close. So what I plan to do is physically adjust the hinges and move the hinge point out 10mm, which will mean that this will cut in quicker. So instead of I'll get my hand, instead of beveling around, it should do that. Now the problem with doing that, obviously I'll get my gaps here, but because the back is quite close, there's an area which I picked up on the other door where it is very close, and if I bring the hinge point back, so what I'm going to do is basically bring the pivot, where's my finger, bring my pivot point, bring it to there, which will mean that obviously it cuts in deeper. The problem with that is that this will make this, instead of open like this, it will open like, I don't know if you can really see what I mean, but basically this will remain straight further, which means that when you open the door, I could have problems with it catching along here, but it's a chance I'm willing to take because I really need to do something about that. I just don't want that bigger gap. Now the advantage obviously means that if I cut the hinges and bring them further back, I may be able to actually move the door itself slightly forward, so I'll get a bigger gap at the back and a smaller gap at the front. Now this is only, like we were talking about, 1 millimetre each way, but that might make the actual door itself look a little bit more OEM on the door shuts. But that's it. Next thing, I've had a look at a few build, because obviously I'm like years behind everyone else now, but I've looked at the build threads, and these air ducts really don't fit very well. This one is better of the two, but this one I've actually had to heat it up and cut it just to straighten it enough so it will fit in there. But as you can see, that's really not very good. But again, that could be where it's been laying around for years, because this would have been a fresh mold, a fresh kit, and the resin might have been just still a little bit soft, so as it's laid in its box it could have just folded a little bit and moved, sort of like just bent. I can repair it, or I can sort of adjust it, but yeah, well, and that's it. So cracking on. Well, next update will be with the door hinge is done, or door hinge done. Cheers, bye.